Another award-winning, thought-provoking, action-packed edition of the Tony Basilio Show is coming up next. Tips are always appreciated here at TonyBasilio.com, home of the Tony Basilio Show. You found the Tony Basilio stream at TonyBasilio.com or on your smartphone or tablet. Another thrilling, chilling, and sometimes spilling edition of the Basilio Show is on the way next. Tips are always appreciated here at TonyBasilio.com.
WJBE 1040 AM, 99.7 FM. Translator W259AB. Powell, Knoxville.
Tony Basilio welcoming you to, it is another edition of your Tony Basilio Show, ladies and gentlemen. Have no fear. You have tried the rest, and now you're going to try the best. And we're going to break this thing down scientifically today. Now, I'm here to tell you on this great Friday as we welcome you in. It's an absolutely outstanding Friday. You better bow thy head when you say thy name, because Mike Huguenin makes a return engagement to the program, the show of shows, the showcase of showcases. And Brian, plug that light in down there, would you? Reach down there. Brian Hartman's in studio today. The great, you better bow thy head, Billy Derrick is in the house with us today as he's learning the technology and all that stuff behind the scenes. Let me bring Bino Jeff Henderson in here. Bino, I saw you sneak in there last night. How come you didn't come up and let me sing you a song, Bino? You kind of snuck in at Calhoun's down in Lenoir City, and I didn't even get to hug your neck, man.
Tony, I tried to get close to the Fountain City Ramblers, but you had them packed in there. And you know how my hometowns are. I mean, we showed up to do a high school football game, and they put us on top of the press box in Oak Ridge. And now I come to my married hometown, and they give me a table on the deck that's just barely outside the restaurant.
I mean, they treated you like a damn snack cake, Bino. Good gosh.
But I enjoyed it, Tony. I was there for a solid hour and a half, and you all were getting it. I enjoyed it.
We were getting after it last night. Now that's a really fun environment there. It's a beautiful place to play music, and we had a lot of fun. So Bino, we had an idea, Brad and myself. We're gonna do a summer kind of a welcome back midsummer, because we don't gather anymore like we once did. So next Friday, we're going to do a show out there at Calhoun's on the Marina in Lenore City. Out there at the marina, out there under the stars, Bino. Do our Friday show and come one, come all, and have an all sing and hang out. Bino, are you excited about that? Will you be there, or are you playing softball?
Tony, I'm actually playing ball next weekend in Columbus, Indiana, which I hate that those two came up against each other. That would be so much fun. Is this guy kidding me? Is this guy Brian Hartman? Is he kidding?
I'm afraid not. You got to go play softball in Columbus, Indiana when you get a chance.
What are we going to do?
Anytime you get a chance to go to the great state of Indiana, you got to do it.
Especially when you don't know how many chances you got left, Brownie boy.
Ain't that the damn truth? Speaking of which, Mike Huguenin joins on the other side. We're going to come back. You know what we're doing today? I'm going to show you some serious discipline. What do you think we're talking about? You got it. You got it. It's college football time in Tennessee. We're going to do it on the other side. This is all football. All football. Football Friday. Football Friday on the other side. Mike Huguenin joins, and then we've got a myriad of things that we're going to get into as we're live today in your Raymere studio, making it happen. After this.
Are you searching for a great local coffee? I'm Billy with Grade A Grounds. You can buy our freshly roasted coffee online and support a good cause with every sip. Great coffee, greater causes. Visit our website today, gradeagrounds.com.
Best week of the year? That's easy. Shark Week. Hey, it's Ben Leeper, pitcher with your Knoxville Smokies. Sharks and fireworks. Can Friday night get any better? We'll see you tonight at the ballpark.
Knoxville Smokies.
Summer is officially here, and the last thing you want during sweltering heat is a broken air conditioner or HVAC system. That means it's more important than ever to keep you and your family comfortable and safe when extreme Tennessee temperatures arrive. Don't ignore the warning signs that your AC is struggling or nearing the end of its lifespan. And if you need emergency HVAC repairs, routine preventative maintenance, or want to invest in a new system, then call the trusted HVAC experts at Pipe Wrench Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. This month, get up to a $1,000 discount when you buy and install a new air conditioner or HVAC system. We make it easy with free on-site estimates for replacements and free second opinions on repairs. And if budgets are tight, we offer flexible payment plans including 0% financing with credit approval. Be sure to ask about our 10-plus year warranties that are 2 times longer than industry standards, so you don't spend a cent on unexpected costs in the future. So call Pipe Wrench at 865-264-8090 or book online at pipewrench.com to schedule your appointment today. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free.
Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Jeff Hall here. I'm a partner at Rather & Kittrell Capital Management. And here at Rather & Kittrell, we understand that life is full of transitions. Since 2000, our team of dedicated certified financial planners has been helping individuals, families, and businesses navigate these changes with confidence. From comprehensive wealth management to tailored retirement plans, we're committed to guiding you toward a secure financial future. Ready to take the next step? Visit rkcapital.com or call us at 865-218-8400 to start your journey today. Rather & Kittrell is a registered investment advisor.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Are you stuck in a dead-end job or ready for a new challenge? Do you feel like it's time to try a new career? Well, it's time to change lanes with TLD Logistics. My friends at TLD Logistics have some really exciting opportunities for you to learn a new skill with a new 5-acre driving academy that's now under new leadership with all new course material. And the best part, it's absolutely free. What a great deal to set you on the road to higher pay. And TLD Logistics even offers weekly stipends to offset food and gas expenses. In 6 weeks' time, you could complete this course and be in compliance with FMCSA regulations. Then you're ready for the open road of opportunity. What are you waiting for? It's time to change lanes with TLD Logistics. Visit tldlogistics.com. That's tldlogistics.com. TLD Logistics.
A lime is not always just a lime. You see, some limes are lucky. For when a lime joins the salted rim of a crisp, refreshing Tres Dos Equis, that lime is no longer a mere lime, but a wedge of renowned Mexican limón. Muchas gracias, limón. And also, de nada. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis, imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama ZZ approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and ZZ.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols!
Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good. You better bow your head when you say thy name, as Bino, Jeff Henderson, and myself proudly welcome back the great Mike Huguenin. Hugie Bear, I've missed you on our Fridays. Brother, it is right around the corner. And it is a football Friday. You know why? Because I've declared it a football Friday, Hugie. Right here, smack dab in the middle of smoking hot July. What is our weather like in Central Florida right now, down in the Orlando area in mid-July, Hugie?
It's going to be 93 today.
Let's go.
And rain. in the afternoon for about an hour, which means the humidity will be like 1,000. Yeah, this is. I can't even describe it. I mean, it's hot and muggy. You go outside and you walk to your mailbox and you start to sweat.
Let's
go. It's not pleasant. But I think that if you're a football player at this, I guess NFL camps actually open next week.
Yep.
So
Yep.
It really is football season, which is a good thing. We're not that far away from the Hall of Fame game, the first game of the NFL season, or the first game of the college season, though, even though the Hall of Fame game, the first game of the football season, even though it's really not a really good game, but we are getting closer and closer and closer. So that's a fantastic thing.
The great Mike Hugan joining. Hugie, SEC Media Days are next week. I know you're fired up for that. Now check this out. I'm looking at the Big 12 Media Days, because I want to get into some stuff with you here in a second. But the Big 12 Media Days were this week. And this is the Dallas Morning News. These are 5 things that you got to know about the Big 12 Media Days, okay? Now you tell me if this sounds like it was worth being there. 1, there ain't nothing like Texas high school football. And their point is that just about every state, that every team that was there, including Arizona State's Jordan Tyson, they've got Texas kids all over that league. I guess that's newsworthy. The second thing, Brett Yormark is standing tall on the 5-11 college football playoff format, and he doubled down on that earlier this week. Number 3, Deion's Deion, and he hasn't lost his fastball. Number 4, Texas Tech's NIL Hall has people talking. And number 5, TCU has high hopes for Josh Hoover. Hugie, I sure hope the SEC Media Days are better than that, because...
Well, the Texas Tech story is frankly gigantic, I think.
Hit it.
And Brett Yormark, I'm assuming that most fans across the country are saying, Brett Yormark, we're listening to you. We want what you want to happen. We don't want what Sankey and Petiti want. And what's interesting to me is I think if Sankey and Petiti took a step back, if it was 5-11, they're going to get their 4 teams in anyway, at least. So I'm for the 5-11 thing as well, and I give Yormark credit for stepping up and, as you said, doubling down. And the Texas Tech situation, truthfully, I think it impacts every single sport. If you're willing to spend that kind of money, Texas Tech women softball team, the softball team played in the national title series. It was a one-woman team for the most part. They're spending a lot of money on basketball. They're spending a boatload on football. If they wanted to, they could do the same for baseball. They could do the same thing for track and field, cross country. It depends on, I guess the question is, how far down the list do you want to spend money? Maybe softball. That's the cutoff for us. But the budget at Texas Tech for players for football is going to be one of the highest in the country. And if they don't win the Big 12, I think that sets up a bunch of interesting questions.
Well, see, that's a problem. These programs are going to spend all this money. What they want us to believe is that this is the last year that we're going to have these inflated payrolls.
Yeah, that is. I'm sighing here because I think you agree with me that it's not the last year.
Of course,
there's already pushback on some of the NIL Go situations.
Mm-hmm.
And what people need to remember, this is outside the NCAA purview. It's the Power 5 conferences saying this is what we're going to do for FBS football, and yet you have the commissioners saying one thing, and you have teams in their own league saying, I don't think so there, bud. So, it's a fallacy to think that this NIL Go thing is going to solve anything. because as soon as supposedly they've already said no to a bunch of stuff, and there's already threats of lawsuits, and they're going to lose. So I don't, Texas. I know a bunch of schools, front loaded their NIL. Auburn is one of those schools saying we're following the rules.
He's
and,
burnt, man. That guy's burned out.
NIL deals are ridiculous.
And
you wonder why Auburn's recruiting classes in the 80s.
That's right.
That's why.
When I hear a coach say that, when I hear a coach say we need to follow the rules, and you're in this league,
they don't have,
you're burnt.
I don't understand what
burned
Auburn
out.
is notorious.
He's burnt to a
for
crisp.
doing things outside the lines. They've always colored outside the lines. I believe they're either first or second in NCAA history in terms of being put on probation. And they have money because they have, Mr. Yellowwood. So I don't, is this John Cohen saying we've drawn our line in the sand and we're not going to cross it, even though every other team in the country is crossing it? I don't get that at all. I don't get what Auburn's doing.
Hey, Bino, Pat Dye would turn over in his grave.
Oh.
Okay, Bino, if Pat Dye knew. Hey, let's move along here. The Big 12 Media Days.
If
Pat
Dye's AD had said that, what John
Oh,
Cohen said,
are you kidding?
Pat Dye would have said, sure, we're going to follow
Sure
the rules.
we are.
And behind the scenes, he'd be like, we're going to double the number of bags we're sending out.
I got you covered here. By the way, you know what's interesting? Here we are in this, because I've been kind of following the futures market in terms of win totals, which is kind of an interesting indication of, Vegas kind of gives you an indication of who has what, how they're going to do. It's worth looking at right now. And so the Big 12, the top three teams, the teams are going to vie for the top of the league: Arizona State, Kansas State, and Texas Tech, and Tech being the big spender. Hughie, the win totals are 8.5 in that league. In the SEC, the win totals among the three big teams are 9.5. In the ACC, the win totals are 10. What I'm getting at here is that this dispersing of the talent, it's taken a little while. It feels like the top of these leagues, it's starting to erode. Georgia, for instance. Georgia, we had Phil Steele on earlier in the week, and the line in the Georgia game is like 6. His line was 6. My friends at VIP Play put a line out, and it was 6. Tennessee and Georgia. Georgia's favored in every game, but the lines are starting to the gap is starting to close. You can't keep all those players on your roster now.
No, and I think the win total in the ACC at 10 is Clemson.
Yep.
And you look on paper, Clemson looks to be, let's say each league has 5 tiers. Clemson is the only one on Tier 1 in the ACC, and you can make a case that Miami is the only one on Tier 2. So there's a lot of bad squads in the ACC. I think the SEC is the win totals are a little bit lower because I think the league looks tighter.
Yes.
And what you just said, there's questions at Alabama, questions at Georgia, questions a little bit at Texas. LSU, is their portal money really going to pay off that much? And then in the Big 12, I think the win totals are so low because I'm not sure anybody I don't know if anybody knows how good these teams can be. Yes, Texas Tech spent a bunch of money in the portal, but I don't know if they're that much better than Arizona State, which I believe are turning 16 starters. Now, they did lose Scatterbo, so that's going to hurt. But Scatterbo, rather. I think that's an interesting aspect of the SEC this year because the programs that generally are expected to win have some concerns, and a lot of those concerns are at quarterback, which obviously, as everybody knows, if your quarterback ain't playing well, your team's not going to be as good as it can be.
And Tennessee's win total, by the way, is 8.5, and they've got they just flipped a quarterback. I mean, it's remarkable that you could go get my man Joey Football. I was telling young Billy Derrick last night who we're taking under wings, and listen, the showy football guy, this is either going to be boom or bust. This is either going to work out or it's not. But the rest of college football is rooting for him. And I was asking Phil Steele, I was like, so where do you have UCLA in that league? And where do you have him in the country? What do you think he told me? Where does he have him in that league?
Probably around 12 or 13.
Yep, very bottom. He said the guy's got no players around him.
No.
As in none.
Actually, 12 or 13 might be a little bit too high.
Yeah.
Because that league has 18 teams. But, you look at Aguilar, and I believe it's, 54 TD passes in the last 2 seasons.
Yep.
That's not bad at all. They were 13 and 11 in games he started. Well, sometimes I mentioned before that if your quarterback's not playing well, your team's going to be the ceiling lowers. But I'm not sure that he was the total issue at App State. They had defensive problems. So I don't think Aguilar is going to be quite as bad as some people think. I think he's going to be a solid guy. Now, I don't think he has the upside that Nico did, but it is what it is. So I think the bigger loss from last year by far is Dylan Sampson. So, and Aguilar, I think, it gives him a chance to win 7 or 8 games. And I think if Nico were there, maybe they can win 9. I don't think the difference is all that stark. It all depends on the Tennessee running game, how well they replace things. Because you could have Joe Montana in the back because you can't run the ball. You're not winning games.
You mentioned the tiers, right, in the Big 12. We were talking earlier. The SEC Media Days next week. The SEC's got, it looks like it's tiered as well. All these conferences are, at least preseason. My top tier in the SEC this year, you tell me if I'm wrong, are Texas, Georgia, Alabama.
Yeah, I think that's it. I'm not putting LSU there.
No.
I think that's legit, and they're all 3 have new quarterbacks.
Yep.
Now Arch Manning, again, I'm sure he is a great prospect.
Yep.
I get that. I still wonder though if he was all this in a slice of bread, why wasn't he starting last year?
That's right.
He did not beat out Mr. Ewers. So. Gunnar Stockton, I'm not a huge fan of his. I think Ty Simpson can be interesting. I think the offense, what Kalen DeBoer wants to do, fits Simpson better than it fit Milroe. And now he's also got Ryan Grubb back, his play caller at Washington, who was with the Seahawks last year, got fired, and now he's at Alabama with DeBoer. So. I think that's a legit top 3, but I don't see any of those 3 teams going unbeaten. And it would not surprise me at the end of the season if each, or at least one, that's good, at least one of those teams is 9-3.
Well, so let's talk this then, okay? So now we see that tier. What's the second tier, Hughie? Tier them for me. You're a sicko.
LSU would be there because of Nussmeier, and their running game can't be as bad as it was last year. I think they will be. They got good receivers. The defense, they spent a lot of money. I don't think it's going to make appreciable steps, though. I think that's a second-tier team.
Okay.
Maybe Texas A&M. I don't know. Marcel Reed is not elite by any stretch, but they get Le'Veon Moss back. And when Le'Veon Moss went down last year, they were 7-1. 6-1. They won 1 game the rest of the way. Le'Veon Moss is the key player on that team and one of the most important players in the league. I think he is the best running back in the league, and this is a league with good running backs. Florida, I think, this is the most talented team Florida's had in a long time, but they're limited by Napier's play calling. It's bad. He is a bad play caller. So that limits what Florida can do. They're not going to necessarily match their talent level. South Carolina, I love Lenore Sellers, but goodness gracious, the running game. Who's the bell cow back? Their leading receiver last year was a tight end who's gone. Nick Harbor, big guy who can run. I don't think he's a very good receiver. So I don't know what South Carolina is going to do, what they're going to look like. They have all new, basically, surrounding talent. They need some people to step up.
Do we put Hughie? Do we put Tennessee with LSU and A&M in Tier 2?
I don't think so. I think Ole Miss would be maybe the last one.
All right.
Though I'm a little bit leery of Ole Miss too, because they're relying on a guy, Austin Simmons, who I think has thrown like 50 passes in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the one he played, basically, he saw a lot of action in 2 games last year. One was against Georgia, where he led that touchdown drive early after Jackson got hurt. The other was against Furman. So, let's see what Austin Simmons can do. I think Tennessee is in the Tier 3, which obviously that's just my opinion. I wonder. My big question is, who is the Dylan Sampson replacement? And I know they got guys who will start, and he was so good. I think they're going to miss him. I think they're going to miss some offensive linemen. They're going to miss some defensive linemen. How much better is the secondary going to be? But in another team, I'm not sure they're all that talented. But if you looked at Missouri's schedule, oh my God, who are they paying? Their toughest non-conference game is Kansas. It's at home. They play their first 6 games at home. That includes South Carolina and Alabama at home. The road games are Auburn, Vandy, Arkansas, and Oklahoma. Yeah, I can't imagine 4 better road games unless you had Mississippi State on the road. They get South Carolina, Alabama, and A&M. All of those games are at home. It's a brutally easy schedule. If you gave that schedule to Georgia, Texas, or Alabama, they're going 12-0. Missouri, I'm not sure about their quarterback, though. It's the Bo Prabula kid who transferred from Penn State. So, and their running back is a transfer from Louisiana Monroe, who's highly thought of, but he left the Sun Belt to play in the SEC. So let's see. But sometimes you got to take schedule into account. In Missouri's schedule, they're paying somebody off. I'm being facetious, obviously, but seriously, when your toughest road game is Oklahoma, that's not very tough.
Well, no question. And here's the other thing about the league. People are going to be urinated off at you that the Vols aren't in Tier 2. But you do make a good point about Tennessee, whereas, like, here we've spent the summer convincing ourselves that all the holes are filled, right? But yet when you talk about other teams, you say, well, they have holes, and they have holes, and they have holes. And until you see they're filled, they're not filled. So before you go hammering Hughie, understand that he's got.
That's fine.
He's got a reason for his take. Well, I know you. I know you.
4 new starting offensive linemen.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. You're right.
How good is Peyton Lewis?
Yeah, that's a fair thing to put him.
I think he had 300 yards last year as the backup. Now, again, Sampson. There was a reason he was the SEC Offensive Player of the Year, and the dude was awesome.
Yeah.
Defensively, I think they lost some key guys. In the secondary, I know they returned a bunch of guys, and I know people are high on Boo Carter and McCoy. That was not the greatest secondary last year. It's interesting. I think the receiving core has, Brazel is a deep threat, but there's a lot of youth at receiver.
No doubt.
Guys have to produce. And I'm assuming that David Sanders is expected to start.
Yes.
So as good as David Sanders is supposed to be, true freshman offensive tackles in the SEC, there's a learning curve. Now it helps that they open with Syracuse, which this is not the Syracuse from last year. Then East Tennessee State, they'll blow their doors in, but then comes Georgia. So that's interesting.
But you know what? Georgia's a have, and you don't like Gunnar Stockton, and they're a Tier 1 team, and quarterbacks really matter. And I'm not sure if I like Gunnar Stockton, but I wanted to make one.
In some respects,
Yeah.
Aguilar certainly has proven tons more.
Tons more.
Yeah. And Stockton came off the bench, led him to the
Showy
SEC
football.
championship game win. Impressive performance. He was bad in the Sugar Bowl loss when Notre Dame had tape to study. Here's what Stockton did against Tennessee.
Yeah.
And they didn't let him do any of that against them. And Notre Dame, Notre Dame's offense finally got awakened in the second half. Georgia's defense is still going to be supremely talented. They got dudes at every single level. KJ Bolden is a phenomenal safety. They got great linebackers. Their defensive line, there's no true standout like in past years, but that's going to be a nice 8-man rotation, and Kristen Miller is going to be really good. But offensively, that's another team. They're replacing 4 starters on the offensive line. Nate Frazier is their running back, and they bring in the McCray kid from Illinois, who's a bruiser. So the running game should be better than it was last year. And they were next to last in the SEC in rushing last year. That's going to change. Their receiving core, though, they're bringing in Zachariah Branch from USC. Oh, he's awesome. Yeah, he was a 5-star guy who didn't do anything in the Lincoln Riley offense.
You can't stand the guy.
Right.
Yeah, I remember when
the Texas A&M transfer, he's a 6'5" kid who's really good. But again, Stockton, I'm not a huge Carson Beck fan, but Stockton is not in Carson Beck's league. And they get Colby Young back, who was suspended last year for legal reasons. Dylan Bell is a stud receiver. So he and Noah Thomas, the transfer from A&M, could be interesting. But that offensive line last year it caused problems for Smart all season long, and they lost 4 starters. So this is an interesting team for Georgia. But defensively, I think they have more talent top to bottom than Tennessee. That their secondary is a lot better than Tennessee's. Their linebackers are better than Tennessee's. Who's going to replace James Pierce as the sack guy? The SEC as a whole is pretty darn interesting. I mean, when you can make a case. Now, I'm not saying that I'd make it, but Lenore Sellers might be the best quarterback in the league, and he plays for South Carolina.
Well, the crazy thing is, I was thinking about your Tier 1 teams, just looking at them, okay? All 3 teams have quarterbacks that have sat multiple years waiting for an opportunity. Now, in this day and age, that's pretty remarkable. The kid at Alabama, if I'm not mistaken, has sat there for 3 years. I mean, we don't know.
As well.
We don't know who he is. How long has Stockton sat?
He's in his 4th year. He's a 4th.
Oh, same thing. I mean, that is at the top of this league. To get guys that have stayed around that long in this day and age, that's pretty incredible if you stop and think about that for a second. Because Arch Manning, like you said, look, I'm inclined to.
He's sat for 2 years.
Yeah, it's wild. And the guy that in front of him last year, the Texas fans hated him, okay? They couldn't wait for that guy to get out the door.
Yep, and he took him to the college football playoff semifinal.
Yeah, they hate the guy.
And Texas had a really good tight end gone.
Yep.
Their best offensive lineman gone. Their 2 best players in their secondary gone. So there's questions about Texas even again. So I'm not sure. I'll be interested in seeing. We mentioned the Big 12 media days last week.
Yeah.
They stopped. They did not do a preseason poll of the media of the finish, like 1 through 16.
Why?
Which I don't know. They picked the players of the year. They didn't pick the standings. I'm interested in seeing what the projected SEC standings are from the media folks who show up.
Probably the sheep down in Georgia. I'm sure they'll vote them. Although
I think it'll be Texas and Georgia in some order at 1 and 2.
I agree.
I'll be interested to see if Alabama indeed is 3rd or if it's LSU. I think it'll be Alabama because I think everybody who can write in Alabama, first grade on, goes to SEC media days and votes.
Hey, the people watching at Alabama, okay, when they used to have that thing there, no offense to those people.
It was sad, dude. I've been.
No offense.
It's bizarre. You know, I was in my 50s when I went.
Yes.
To see guys and women as old as me trying to get autographs, standing in line. Hey, I'm a big Tide fan. Sign my helmet. And you're like, good God, don't you have a job?
Hey, Hughie, there was a woman one time. She Saban kind of blows through there, you know, in his heyday when he really had it going. Saban comes walking through the door, and this woman basically goes over and touches him, and she goes, "I touched him. I touched him. I touched him."
Like, I touched the hem of God. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was I don't know. It was also, you know, sort of like, oh, this is incredibly funny, and then you're like, this is incredibly sad.
Like a lot of things, Alabama,
so,
incredibly sad.
It's like spring training baseball, a bunch of kids trying to get autographs of players, which is what you're supposed to do, and then you got your 15, 45-year-old men trying to get autographs.
Yes.
Like, that's not right.
And I hope those 45-year-old guys are selling them on eBay like I would.
Exactly.
Like
so
I would be. But,
yeah.
Hughie, here's a question for you. Do you think Sankey this week tells us what they're going to do with the schedule next year? Do you think they have a plan yet? Or do you think they're still holding out? Or do you think I'm right that they're going to stay at 8?
You know, I've gone back and forth on this. You know, it seemed like, okay, they're going to 9 for sure. And then over the last month, you're like, well, they don't really sound too eager anymore to go to 9. So I can see them staying at 8, which is disgusting, frankly. So, I'm thinking he does not make the announcement at SEC Media Days. I think he can sort of milk this and say something in early August or something if he wants to. But I think he's going to hammer home the playoff aspect.
5 plus 11?
Yeah. Or, no, I think he wants the 4-4-2-2-2, whatever it is, the automatic bid for the SEC. I think he will hammer that home. And I think he'll wax poetic on NIL Go and how good that is, even though everybody knows it's not going to work.
Never going to work. Absolutely not. Deion Sanders.
You're telling somebody, and
yes.
Again, you know, we talked about this a couple months ago, but
yes.
before the House settlement was even settled. If you're a ninth grade kid right now, you're being told, well, when you get to college, these are your parameters.
Right.
No, they're not. If I can make $8 million from one NIL deal, you're not telling me I can't.
My favorite is Deion Sanders yesterday at that Big 12 thing. He came out and said, well, I'm for a cap.
Yeah, which I was shocked by in a way. But
yeah.
I think he also knows that if he's going to stay at Colorado or whoever else is going to replace him at Colorado does not have the money to hang with the big dogs. So the salary cap act.
Well, here's my favorite thing about it, Hughie. When he's for a cap, he also controls, if you look at it, all of the swag at Colorado. He can basically controls that university. His son ran up like $150,000 in parking tickets. I mean, they made a total. They have made a total mockery of that place. But he's for a cap. I mean, you got to give guy credit because he can get really paid, but the kids can't get paid because he's for a cap. And that's what I love about these coaches, like Nick Saban. He's for a cap, but he can make $10 million. But he's for a cap for the players.
A lot of these coaches don't even like NIL.
Which is a joke.
I think they begrudgingly say, I had no problem with kids being paid, but then they go off on a 15-minute rant about, the problems it causes in the locker room and all that kind of stuff. And my response to that is, you're being paid $11 million.
Manage
figure it out in your locker room.
Yeah. You can manage it.
And the whole thing about the transfer portal, that might be another thing that Sankey talks about, the idea of we need a new transfer portal calendar. The dumbest one of all, I think, is Kirby Smart's idea. It needs to be the last 2 weeks of January. I don't know if Mr. Smart realizes this. Most schools have started by mid-January, and if you want to make a mockery of the whole academic aspect, fine. That's fine. But for forever, coaches talked about the sanctity of academics. You know, we got kids who graduate here, blah blah blah, and now all of a sudden it messes with your roster makeup. Well, if they miss 3 weeks of school, who cares? You're like, what is going on? So it's hard to take anything any of these dudes says seriously at times, because they often make very cogent comments, but they also make comments that should make people sit back, throw up their hands, and say, dude, you need to get your head out of your rear end.
It's unbelievable, Andy. Hughie, on the way out, is there anything else you'd care to add? You've been incredible today. We've broken it down scientifically. We've moved right to left across our device. And here on the TLD Logistics
the
phone line.
The basketball committee met this week.
Uh-oh.
And everyone assumed that yesterday or today they would come out and say, we're expanding the tournament field.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Dan Gavitt said yesterday, yep, we met. We're done with our meetings. And you're like, awesome. You didn't make any decisions. And he said, that's still under discussion. So I think it's pretty obvious that there are a lot of folks who do not want to expand, which I think is fantastic, and sort of a thumb in the eye of Sankey and Petit, because Sankey and Petit know that if the tournament expands, all the extra bids, six of the 8 would go to Power 5 teams. So and Dan Gavitt has said in the past that he likes 68, so maybe he has a lot more power than folks give him credit for, but that's fantastic, because I was for sure that one discussion point today would be, okay, the NCAA tournament has gone to 76. What do you think? And thankfully, we'll have to discuss that quite yet, and maybe we never will, which will be fine with me.
I saw where Calipari, because now we've professionalized this stuff, he's got a pretty good idea. Did you guys see that last night in the Summer League, people paid $1,000 to get in to the Lakers and the Cooper Flag game? LeBron's son.
Yeah, you a Cooper Flag shot 5 of 21.
$1,000 people paid to sit on the floor to get in, Hughie, to get in 175 at the top of the building. And here's what Calipari said. Why don't we have a summer circuit? Because we're letting our teams practice in June, where we can play games in July and let the kids get used to play and put it on television. And then when we make these, Patino came behind him and said, and for some of the teams that make these foreign trips, why aren't we putting these things on television? People would watch it, Hughie, and they would bet on it. And they would bet on it.
Which you're right. But, and as long as it's not like a 6-game schedule, but maybe 2 or 3 one-offs, I think that's legit. Now, some of your freshmen, I don't think. I guess some of your freshmen wouldn't be there. And I know that the USA under-19 team is overseas right now, and there's I think 7 or 8 of those 12 are going to be college freshmen. But that's a very interesting idea by Calipari.
I like it,
and that it makes sense. And plus, I think it would be a case of we're not going all out here. We're going to play every single guy on our team. But it would still be basketball. It would still be teams you know of, with coaches you know of. And if you don't want to watch baseball, which I don't, I would watch a summer college basketball game.
Well, my goofy son Anthony last night, it's 34-13 at halftime, Anthony, and we're still watching this?
Yeah.
I mean, the Sixers, their summer league team sucks, Hughie. That's how bad they suck. Their summer league team sucks.
That's bad. That's it's hard to imagine a team
blow.
of 4 players scoring 13 points and a half.
My round.
I'm sure some of your listeners are going, well, you can never watch a WNBA game, but I didn't say that.
Ain't that the truth? Hughie, I love you. Hey, if Caitlin Clark ain't playing, that stuff doesn't exist. No offense to it. Hughie, I love you. Thank you.
All right, talk to you next week. Thanks, man.
Thank you. 865-200-5402. Brian, do you watch Celtic Summer League basketball, or do you draw the line?
I haven't watched a second of Summer League ball yet.
Okay.
I certainly can't imagine paying $1,000. They couldn't pay me $1,000 to walk in there for a lot of that.
And Cupper Flag was awful last night. I used to love when Archie Manning would call his son Cooper Cuppa. And Cuppa Manning. Cuppa Flag. Cuppa this, Cuppa that. What was the song that, was it, I'm so fancy, da-na-na-na-na-na-na, bump, 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 from L.A. to Tokyo. What was that song, Brian? You remember? Fancy? So the Australian girl. Do you remember who was it? Do you remember who did that? I can't remember her name. It's like Izzy Azalea. That's her name. Iggy Azalea, I think was her name. A cup of gray, cup of goose, cup of wet, cup of good, cup of this, cup of that, cup of card. Maybe Cup of Beano will come back. I want to talk to you at 865-200-5402. I got to ask a question here. I've refrained from it all week, but Throaty teed it up today in the Blogo record over at tclub.team. Throat's got a great report over there today. Takes Phil Steele to task. I don't take Phil Steele to task. Phil Steele came on here and admitted, hey, man, look, I've got a magazine that has I think he said 3 million factoids in it. Do you remember, Brian, what the number was? He said there's he said in the millions. He said we got a million facts or a couple million words in the thing. He said, yeah, he said we kind of screwed up. On the other side, I want to get your thoughts on what we've talked about, what we talked about today. What about Hughie putting Tennessee not in Tier 1, not in Tier 2, but in Tier 3? Bino is going to speak on that. And then, is Sankey next week going to say 8? Is he going to say a 9-game schedule? Are they going to give it up? And then if you had your druthers on the playoff format, let's break it down scientifically here. Where would you have it? And if you were tiering the league, where would you put Tennessee? Are they Tier 1? Are they Tier 2? I mean, to me, well, I'll keep you in suspense. Where am I going to have the Vols? Let's put it this way. To me, you can get to the playoffs out of Tier 3 this year in this league because I think it's going to be a crazy year in the SEC. Why? Where are the quarterbacks? And change is the rule of the day. And there's somebody that's in Tier 1 that's not going to make the playoffs. It happened last year. And these teams are closer now together than they've ever been. Again, 9.5 is the top win total in the league. I don't ever remember that. I don't ever remember a team not being 10, Bri, in this league. Generally, there's a 10. There's a 10 riding high at the top of the league. That shows you that we're in a conference right now where, as we're calling them, the middle 8. The middle 8 are extremely dangerous. Anytime you get on the field with a middle 8 team. As we continue with more, it is your Friday edition. It's a football Friday. Hughie appeared on your TLD Logistics phone line as we continue with more after this.
Hey, Tony B listeners, I'm Billy from Grade A Grounds, a UT grad bringing Knoxville a better way to raise money. We roast premium coffee fully branded for your team or cause. You keep 40% of sales and we donate 5% to local needs. Let's win on and off the field. Visit gradeagrounds.com to start your winning fundraiser today.
Living Vol fan, we're on the countdown to kickoff, and that means you need to make sure you are game ready. Head to Alumni Hall to get this season's Tennessee sideline apparel. Nike, Columbia, Peter Millar, and more. Shop top brands for the entire family. Hats, Yeti, tailgating gear, and so much more. If it's for the Tennessee fan, Alumni Hall has it. Spend $150 and get $10 in Hall cash rewards. Shop at alumnihall.com. Download their app or shop any of their locations in Knoxville, Murfreesboro, or the Tri-Cities. Alumni Hall, the ultimate shopping destination for Vol fans.
It's the hottest post-game show on the planet. Garza Law. Fifth quarter fan reaction. Fan reaction. As soon as the final gun sounds, we're live.
Tony Basilio, and we are live once again with Chad Stockton of FC Alliance. And Chad, you're out there on the field 100 strong here in Knoxville. Talk to me. What's been going on with FC Alliance now that the weather's heating up?
We're out here for the first night of the boys' tryouts. We have over 400 kids that'll be here tonight. So a lot of exciting times right now for us. Our club team started at U9 and we go all the way through U19. We have over 1,000 kids that come from Chattanooga from the Tri-Cities that make all our teams and make this club what it is today. So we're excited about it. We finished the younger kids a couple of weeks ago. We just finished the girls last night, and now we're on to our older boys program as we speak right now.
And we're blowing and going in the Tri-Cities. Tell me about it.
We started FC Alliance North 1 year ago, and coming off the first year, we are the largest, most competitive club up in the Tri-Cities area. We just finished our tryouts last night. Looks like right now we will be well over 400 kids for the upcoming season. So great things happening up there. We've put our boys into some really good regional leagues. So we're excited about what the future holds for them and also our girls programs.
If you want more information, check them out at fcallianceknox.org. That's fcallianceknox.org. Chad Stockton, keep growing the beautiful game here in East Tennessee.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tony.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care. I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net. TB here for Cedar Bluff Plumbing, a live and local company that's been serving our area for over 32 years and counting because every customer counts, and I mean no job is too small. Cedar Bluff Plumbing just voted #1 by City View magazine because multiple plumbing experts are on call to serve all your plumbing needs. Chances are there'll be a plumber in your area when you call, and they won't send some salesman to your house. You're going to get a high character, trustworthy, highly trained plumber who will serve you, not like some of these guys that look like they came off the set of America's Most Wanted. Cedar Bluff Plumbing is Basilio tested and approved and will go the extra mile for you because Chucky Mack is a servant of the people and my consigliere to the throne, celebrating over 32 years of serving living volunteers. Cedar Bluff Plumbing. Call 588-4448. That's 588-4448. Cedar Bluff Plumbing.
Attention Vol fans, are you tired of complicated, clunky fleet technology that makes your job harder? Say goodbye to frustration and hello to Connexial, your hometown partner in logistics. It's time to rev up your operations with next level fleet management from Connexial. Connexial is here to keep your business on track with technology that works as hard as you do. Our game-changing ELD gives you more than just hours of service. With AI-powered dash cameras and real-time asset tracking, you'll have eyes on the road, cargo, and your fleet from anywhere, anytime. And the best part, our friendly US-based customer support team is just one phone call away. No more long wait times or frustrating tech talk. Just real people with real solutions. With Connexial, you get a professional team you can trust and easy-to-use products that keep you on the road. What do you say, Tony?
I'm ready. Make the smart move and call Connexial today.
865-888-6920. Learn more at Connexial.com. That's KONEXIAL.com. Drive life with Connexial and go Vols.
Basilio here, and my friends at Carnes Motor Company started with a dream over a quarter century ago. I met Rob and Brian back when I still had hair, and they were working at a huge dealership in West Knoxville. But they told me back then they wanted to sell cars on their terms, and I wanted to do radio on my terms. Their terms, just like my terms, are ultimately your terms. In both cases, you're the winner. A Car Guru's National Award winner with a 5-star rating on all sites, just like our Vols. Everything about buying a car from Carnes Motor Company is no hassle. They specialize in high-quality pre-owned vehicles between the $5,000 to $25,000 range. And if you need to sell a car, they'll either buy your car or they'll help you sell it. Carnes Motor Company also has a top-notch service department. Therefore, every vehicle is rigorously inspected and serviced prior to delivery. So you're guaranteed to get a quality pre-owned vehicle every time. If you need a place for service, they've got you covered. Come be a part of the Carnes Motor Company family and tell them you heard about it from me. Online at carnesmotor.com, Oak Ridge Highway, 1 mile past the Carnes light. Carnes Motor Company.
Yeehaw! Some people say betting online is still the wild, wild west. But with the VIP Play app, you're riding with the best. VIP Play app is hotter than a $2 pistol packed with flair. Live hosts and features finer than a frog hair. Send your old betting problems out of town with a slap. You'll be betting sharp as a tack on the VIP Play app.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
Download VIP Play today or head to VIPPlayApp.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-88-99789. Must be 21 plus and located in Tennessee to bet.
Jeff Hall here. I'm a partner at Rather and Kittrell Capital Management. Life is full of transitions. Planning for retirement, managing investments, or navigating major life changes. Here at Rather and Kittrell, we're here to guide you through every step. Visit rkcapital.com or call 865-218-8400 to start your journey toward financial clarity today. Rather and Kittrell is a registered investment advisor.
WJBE 1040 AM 99.7 FM. Translator W259AB. Powell, Knoxville.
I cannot believe that 1 hour is down. I just can't believe that. Bino, Jeff Henderson, how fired up, focused, and prepared are you right now for what we're about to get into? First of all, Hughie has in the tiers, because I took notes, he has Tier 1, Texas, Georgia, Bama. Tier 2, LSU, A&M. He throws Florida and Ole Miss in Tier 2. And he has us in Tier 3 along with Missouri. Bino, how offended are you by Hughie's work? Let's grade his work. What letter grade do you give him on that?
I'll give Hughie a B plus on looking at that, Tony. I'm not offended by that. I've been one that believes that Tennessee is going to piece together a wide receiver core that's effective, but that takes some blind faith. I'm one that believes that David Sanders and Satterwhite are going to be good in the offensive line, be the first high school recruits that step up and play a big part in this offensive line. That takes some blind faith.
Yep.
What, in my opinion, doesn't take blind faith is so far in Heupel's tenure here, he's won more games than I expected him to 3 of the 4 seasons. I've seen him do that. I believe he's going to do it again. And I don't think that's blind faith. I think that's based on what I've seen out of his tenure.
And like Brian Hartman said that the guy's a winner. And look, we've seen it here. Some of these guys find ways to win in these sports, and some of these people find ways to lose. And the winners stay employed, and we call them winners. And, the losers get on with their life's work. So, and not everybody that gets these opportunities wins, but it had been pretty sometimes under Heupel. And sure, a generous schedule, because that's another component of this.
Yes.
Florida could have a much better team than Tennessee this year, talent-wise, and finish 2 games behind the Vols. That's entirely possible. So, the one thing that I keep going back to is you look at that first tier of teams, and like you were saying, the whole blind faith thing. While I want to believe that Joey Football can really play, you know what I wonder? Can Ty Simpson play? Who knows? I haven't seen him. I have no idea. Can, at a tier 2, can that Austin Simmons guy from Ole Miss play? Now, last year when they threw him in that, was it the Florida game last year or Georgia game? They put that guy out there and he looked next level. So, you just, the bottom line is fans short for fanatic. I want to believe in my team. Basically, I'm calling a guy that's kind of a guy that UCLA took. There was nobody else sort of to take to the prom. They needed a date. So they grabbed Joey Football. And then we got broken up with. They stole our date, who was already and we went and took a guy that was already a bottom of the barrel prom date. Like a girl told me one time, Bino, when I was a junior in high school, I said, "You want to go to the prom?" And she said, "Well, there are 3 or 4 other guys I got my eyes on."
But you're in others receiving votes.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. So we go to the phones at 865-200-5402. The other thing I want to bring up, and Throaty talked about this. Look, I don't mind an alternate uniform. I got to be careful using the term alternative these days. I don't mind using an alternate uniform. It does not. You can do whatever you want with your uniform. Why do we have to wear Butchie Boy Gray? Why? Why? Why do we celebrate a remnant from the Butch Jones era? First of all, gray is a hideous color. Nobody walks around in gray. Nobody. Well, Brian's got a gray shirt on today. But is that a gray shirt, Brian? It's beautiful. Nobody, but that's a Tennessee national championship.
Looks good on you though, Brian.
Yeah. But it's a Tennessee national championship shirt. I don't wear, okay? I don't wear a jersey. Brian, you agree with that? A gray jersey, Brian? A Butchie Boy gray jersey?
No, I wouldn't wear that around. No way.
No. And what is it? I mean, black jersey? I got it. You want to wear like all orange? I got it. You want to wear orange and white? I got it. You want to wear like a creamsicle jersey? I got it. You want to wear that Pat Summitt blue? That Columbia blue, Carolina blue thing? What? I got that. I'm with you all day long on any of that. You want to wear something that's fruit striped? Fine. Gray? And then for them to tell us back then that Butch Jones, that they discovered that it was a part of our canon here. Okay? That, like in the early 1900s, it was a part of our canon. Or they said it was the dirt of the Smoky Mountains. All because Butch Jones had to tinker. People say, well, it's the shoe company, Tony. You're really being a simpleton. When did it debut? When did it debut? The school could say no, okay? The school could always say no. So I hate that gray jersey. Hate.
Doesn't look good on baseball either.
No, oh, that's hideous. When the baseball team wears it, it's awful looking, Tony Vols. You know better than that. Tony, you're hating on the military uniform. No, I'm not. I love them. I love our troops. But I ain't wearing no damn gray jersey. I can promise you that. Bino, where are you on the gray jersey? Because Throaty dunked on it today over at tclub.team, and I stand with him on that.
I don't like the smoky gray, Tony. I've come to the realization that if the kids want something, my old ass ought to step out of the way. But no one's going to convince me that any of those kids told them, hey, we want to wear smoky gray. I can believe it that they said we want to wear black.
Yes.
I can believe it that they say some other no one's convincing me that they went to them and said, we want smoky gray.
Well, Throaty has a great line. I mean, it looks like Henry Winkler when he was the original Fonz before they put the black leather coat on him. They had him running around in that gray jersey. Nobody wears on a football field gray. Who else does that? Arkansas did it. Okay. That's what I want to be like Arkansas. I can't think of anybody else that does it. I mean, it's not tough. To Bino's point, it's not tough looking. These schools that wear these all black jerseys, I believe the kids want to wear all black. It's, that whole kind of all black look is kind of menacing looking. I believe that. I love the Lane Kiffin black jersey. The ones that they got printed like in Greenville was the
Halloween
story.
jobs.
The Halloween jersey. I'll do that all day long with you.
One thing I am for, if you're going to wear that mess, wear it against New Mexico State.
Well, that's the truth. That's the truth. Throaty said Dr. Danny's marketing department has officially jumped the shark because they're two-tone gray uniforms. I mean, not gray, but gray your way. Two-tone gray. How do you accomplish that?
Yeah, let's go double hideous.
And you know what's crazy? And I love the sheep because sheep make the world go round. Sheep are going to buy them. You know how I know the sheep are going to buy them? Because tonight's Friday night. And my Phillies, these City Connect, I'll give Bino's Yankees credit. They're not participating in this City Connect nonsense.
That's right.
They are not participating in the City Connect. My Phillies City Connect jersey is the most hideous, ridiculous looking thing I've ever seen. And you know what? Last year when I went to the ballpark in Philly, and I got me some coffee. Those people are wearing those things, Bino, those fans, because the team put them on. It has nothing to do with their colors. It has nothing to do with their history. They've sold them a story just like they sold us, that it's some thing to do with the Dutch and the people in the town, and that they're awful looking. Awful looking. I mean, for goodness sakes, think for yourself, man. Anything Butch Jones is for, I'm against, as a rule of thumb. Champions of Life, 6'3" strain, unless you're... The only time 6'3" strain is good, let's go to the phones. So there we go. We got a lot to talk about here.
They tell us it's not even good then, Tony.
To the phones we go. Hello and welcome in. Let's get our first call in. You're live on our Friday edition.
Tony, Bean O'Brien, and Zach in E-Town. What is up?
Hey, Zachy, welcome in.
My guy.
Zach.
Hey, Bino, that was a great Caddyshack reference you popped Brian on, where you said it looks great on him, though. That was awesome.
I'd slip it in there.
Amazing. Tony, I was going to talk about the rankings real quick, but the jerseys, I've gotten into Twitter arguments about that gray being in our heritage somehow. I never, in the years that you were at UT, the years I was at UT, I never once heard about anything gray. I mean, supposedly that's in our history. Was it a remnant that was dug up right when?
Oh yeah, they found it.
Jones
buried in the mountains, and then they said, well, it's the color of the soil. Color of the soil or something in the Smoky Mountains, or I mean, what
Did Butch,
are we
discover that
doing?
In some ancient tomes he was reading one night, trying to get some inspirational material? That jersey is that combo is god awful.
But Butchie Boy is a joke. That's a joke. The fact that we're still doing it is a joke, and you can say no to the shoe company. This narrative that, well, it's the shoe companies to blame. I mean, that's BS. Come on now.
Yeah.
If the shoe company told them, hey, if the shoe company told them, Zach, you got to wear a pink jersey this year, you think they're going to wear a pink jersey? I mean, come on now.
No, well, I don't know. I mean, Nike is goofy about this storytelling things. I was looking at your Phillies Connect jersey, and that's the one thing about at least the Braves. Their City Connect jersey is a basically just one of their '70s throwbacks,
which is awesome looking. Their City Connect jersey's great looking.
Yeah, and I know it's silly, but when I think about UT football, you only get to see that jersey run out 10 times a year. That uniform, it only comes out 10 or 11 times a year.
Yep.
And we're going to throw one away on some god awful monstrosity that Nike cooked up with Butch Jones in mind. Give me a break.
And that's the thing. That's the thing I can't get over. And then but like Thrody said, I give him credit. Jones's first gray jersey was hideous looking. This thing they have now is triply hideous. It's two tones of gray. What are you doing?
It's nonsense.
And the poor Farouk kid, they made the poor Farouk kid wear it on social media.
Man, I hope he got a lifetime Nike gift card or something.
Exactly.
I wanted to give a RIP shout out to Lee Elia, one of the Phillies managers. He was the manager of the Phillies the year I started watching baseball. So, and I think he has one of the greatest cussing rants. If anybody wants to look that up.
When Lee Elia ripped those people,
the Cubs fans,
those Cub fans, and called them a bunch of damn. He called them a bunch of damn bleacher bums, is the term he used, and said, "You people need to get a job.
I know.
Get a job." Bino, you think a manager's had it when he tells his fan base to get work and says, all that's in here are a bunch of drunk bums in the middle of the afternoon?
Yeah, that's when you know you're on your way out, and I'm just going to say whatever the heck I want to say.
That's when honesty can, it's like drinking, in vino veritas. That's when the truth comes out. But, okay, so on the wins, I'll listen to what Mr. Steele said, and I've ruminated on it. I mean, I think we're getting dogged a little bit. I think our wins and our future this season is probably determined by winning the games, obviously that we should, and how we perform against Florida. So really, I guess my question to y'all is, I mean, I would feel better if we still had Pierce and maybe one other defender, and if I knew exactly what DJ Lagway situation was, because the fact that there's no Bo Derricks, no 10s in our league blew me away, kind of. So I don't know if that's been, because I think if Lagway's playing, there's no chance. But if he's not, I think we may have a shot. So
I think both those swing games, Zach, are interesting because they both occurred a part of the year where both these quarterbacks could get beat up in this league, and that's an advantage. I mean, not only is Tennessee's schedule easy, but it's fortuitous where these teams fall. And that's a good point by you, because Lagway could be all beat up, and this Mateer guy likes to run around. And if you run around in this league and you do that enough, you will not make it through a season, or you'll be like the Pavia kid. You'll just be a shell of yourself by the time the end of the year comes.
And that's kind of, I mean, that if we were to go and beat them, I mean, and win 7 other games, I think Joey football would ride off into the sunset as a minor legend, right up there with some of your minor legends. On the way out, I just wanted to say it was cool to watch. You were talking about the summer league, NBA.
Yep.
I watched Meshack had a nice little game the other night.
Sure did.
I would watch. Of course, I'm a sicko. I would pay to watch some maybe some like overseas games, or set up something between like Tennessee and, I don't know, name your school, and have it at some funky arena.
Be cool. No, it'd be their point is, and Zach, thank you for the call.
See you, buddy.
Hit the red button down below. There you go. No, not that one. The other one, line 1. He was on 1. 865-200-5402. You got to show him. You got to get in there and we got to teach. We're trying to teach Billy how to do the phones. Billy just cut the wrong color off. Bino, tell who? 865-200-5402. This is a lot of fun here. We're learning. We're learning.
Hey, I'm not getting on Billy because you haven't even you looked at me and said I'm not even attempting to teach this clown how to run this airplane console here. He's got no shot.
Let's get our next call in. Hello and welcome into our next call. You're live on the air.
Happy Friday, gentlemen.
Hey, Paulo, welcome in, brother.
What about it, Paulie?
TB, Brian, Bino, Tony, I got a real funny thing that happened today. Now, Imagine this, okay? Imagine a lifetime Chicago Cub fan.
Yes.
Calling a lifetime Yankee fan 4 hours ago and says, I'm picking you up. We're going to the Bronx, which I've never been, and we're going to watch the Cubs win at least 2 out of 3 at the Yankees, and all travel expenses are paid. And next thing you know, he denies it. Now, who do you think that could be?
Bino, you don't want to go up there with the Polish one and all expenses paid?
Tony, generally, when you leave for a weekend, if you're not in Polish world, you probably plan it, 2 weeks before. And I never heard that all expenses paid portion of that during the conversation.
That ain't going to happen, in other words.
Tony, that tells you the shape the New York Yankees are in, right?
Oh, no question. Here's the truth about
when they're running from a Chicago Cub fan.
Bino wants no part of that because he knows what's coming this weekend. My boy Pete Crow Armstrong's going to have a lot to say about that.
MVP.
One of the best young players in baseball.
PCA.
What
a great kid, too.
You know what's incredible about Pete Crow Beanstar is that the Mets gave him away. The Mets gave that kid away, man.
But but it's about time the Cubs got a break with giving people away, if you know what I mean.
No, the Cubs have a nice young baseball team, man, and their top prospect just got moved from here to AAA. So
yeah, but the sickest thing, Tony, is there's a kid that we traded, Cam Smith, who's playing third base for the Houston Astros.
Nice player.
And we gave him up for Kyle Tucker, a 1-year deal.
Mm-hmm.
And now Tucker's he's a great player, but he wants $400 million.
Mm-hmm.
And we just gave a prospect away for renting a player for 1 year. That's why they'll never win. So, Tony, remember the last time I called and you cut me off because it was before lunch and I was given that John Adams bird statistic about the vulture?
Yes.
You never gave me the chance to the punchline. I mean, it's after lunch now, so could I
No,
say
it's not after lunch. It's the lunch hour. What do you mean it's after lunch?
Okay, but real quick, the way, and this is, you can ask John Adams, this is true, okay? The way a vulture protects itself from a predator is projectile vomit. Well, if you look it up, at the time of year where the vultures migrate in flocks, there's a thing that's known as, it's called a meat shower. When they're migrating and something comes up and they all get scared, they all do that. Next thing you know, it's a meat shower on Earth, and everyone's like, what the hell is this?
Bino, are you sure Bino, you don't want to go all expenses paid with him?
Meat shower.
Bino, I can't believe you don't want to get in the car and go all expenses paid, Bino. You get to listen. You get to listen about meat showers and projectile vomiting of birds. And,
and that's in the first 30 minutes of conversation. What happens in the next 9 hours?
And probably lose 2 out of 3 in the process, Bino.
Tony, the other thing is a raven and a crow. Okay.
Yep, a raven and a crow.
When they're in the trees, this is amazing. This is how the planet. It's amazing.
All right.
When they're in the trees and there's roadkill, they stay in the trees and they can't get to it, but they know how to do a wolf call. They make the noise of a wolf call, so the wolf call comes and chews on the roadkill, and then they show up.
Give me a wolf call real quick. What would it sound like, Polly? Give me a wolf call.
Oh, my God. It's like the postseason softball.
You're out of here. Stick a fork in him. You can't get on here and imitate Titans Bill imitating her. That ain't cool. 8652. Bino, are you sure you don't want to get in your car? And how many hours has it, Bino? All expenses paid?
I don't know. I don't know, but
do they make enough Xanax to get through that, Bino? Is enough Xanax in existence to get through that?
Well, there's no way I would stay a non-drinker.
I want to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that my friends at VIP Play, they've released every line for every Tennessee football game for the upcoming season. First sports book in the state of Tennessee to do so. They're accepting wagers on all look-ahead lines on Vol football. They've also released all 17 Tennessee Titan regular season football games for the upcoming season. First sports book in the state to begin accepting wagers for all look-ahead lines on the Titans as well. New and more convenient deposit and withdrawal methods are coming. Know this. Everybody's treated like a VIP at VIP Play. 200-plus leagues, numerous bet types, props, options. If you have a bet in mind, your VIP team, and you can't find it at your sports book, your VIP team will create it for you as long as it's a compliant event bet type in the state of Tennessee. So know that everybody gets treated like a VIP at VIP Play. If you have a gambling problem, 800-889-9789. 21 and over, located in the state of Tennessee to place a bet. And let's come back on the other side. We'll pick it up with some more phone calls. Want to hear from you at 865-200-5402 as we continue with more after this.
Your Smokies are back home this week, and so many great promotions every single night, like all-you-can-eat Wednesday and Thirsty Thursday with half-off draft beers. But this Thursday, we also have dueling pianos. Friday, we're celebrating Shark Week style.
Captain America.
Saturday, Captain America, the Hulk, you name it. It's Marvel Superhero Night with a free comic book giveaway. And we close the week on Sunday with Pete the Cat.
Here comes Pete.
Grab your tickets now at SmokiesBaseball.com.
Whether it's baseball, football, softball, church groups, or schools, if you're raising money, do it with locally roasted Grade A Grounds coffee. I'm Billy Miller, a Vol alum and Knoxville native. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% back to our East Tennessee community. Get started today by visiting our website at gradeagrounds.com.
Since 2001, High Branch Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling has been the trusted and preferred name for over 70,000 Knoxville locals. Looking for expert plumbing services and HVAC services, including repairs, replacements, or maintenance. Voted best plumber in Knoxville and one of Knoxville's best HVAC companies 7 years in a row. High Branch is a fully licensed mechanical contractor and committed to excellence and craftsmanship, so you can trust our certified experts to go above and beyond to meet your plumbing and HVAC needs, no matter what problem horizons. We also make it easy with transparent pricing, free on-site estimates for replacement, and free second opinions on repairs. And if budgets are tight, we offer flexible payment plans including 0% financing when credit approved. Be sure to ask about our 10-plus year warranties that are 2 times longer than industry standards, so you don't spend a cent on unexpected costs in the future. So call PipeWrench at 865-264-8090 or look online at PipeWrench.com to schedule your appointment today. And as always, same-day service guaranteed, or the visit is free.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire. Basilio here for Budget Transmissions. TGMD, the great Matt Dixon, took his Ford Escape to budget, and like our gold bullet back in the day, it was a total mess. And now, Matt's back in the game. He's got a new transmission, axle, wheel bearing, both radiator hoses, engine mounts, coolant hoses. I mean, his Ford Escape was about to escape to the junkyard, but he didn't begrudge it. He took it to budget, and now he's on his way back to Omaha. Budget Transmissions, over 30 years in business, conveniently located in Bearden. All extended service contracts are honored. A gold certified Repair Pal member. 865-584-4391. 865-584-4391. Budget Transmissions. Don't begrudge it. Take it to budget.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Tony B here with the great Zakai Ziegler for
Advent. Hey, whoa. Tony, I got this. Hey, Tennessee, it's easy here. Next time you have an electric issue at your home or business, call my friends at Advent Electric. With offices in Knoxville and Nashville, it's Mama's Easy approved.
You heard it from the most electrifying player in the league. Call the service professionals at Advent Electric, 865-588-0631. Online, adventelectric.com. Tell them ZZ sent you. TB back with you as we welcome you back on your Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Bino Jeff Henderson is there. I'm here. We're fired up, focused, and prepared. We're going to go back to our TLD Logistics phone lines if you want to get in the mix and in the hunt. Bino, will you be watching the Major League Baseball draft with light bright, shining bright, my man Tony Vitello? Will you be watching that Beanstar?
I intend to watch that. I do, Tony. That's something that's kind of new on our radar to watch. It means a lot more to us now than it has in forever. So
well, and the funny thing too about Major League Baseball is these college players are getting to the majors quicker now. There's already 4 guys out of last year's draft that are contributors in Major League Baseball that are actually, contributors. And it's almost like the Skeens thing did something to it. I didn't understand before. It's a really good idea. What they've done the last couple of years is they've taken their draft and they've moved it during the All-Star break It's the first thing that happens during the All-Star break. So everybody plays their games on Sunday. And then they have the draft Sunday night at the site of the All-Star game. It makes why they weren't doing this before. And then you shine the light on kids that are coming into the game, and there's still going to be a bunch of high school kids. This is going to be the first year in the Vitello era that Tennessee is going to get pinched by the draft. They kind of knew that. They took a couple guys just to take them. There's a chance this Schoolcraft guy, could end up here, if something funny happens. But for the most part, if you're one of those top 100 picks, you're going to end up going to and signing a professional contract. There's no way a top 100 pick's going to come to college. There's just not enough money in college baseball to do that. So Tennessee, but Tony's going to be up there doing his thing on Friday night, and he just kind of dominates. I mean, I don't know what to say. He's like the voice of the deal. But we'll go back to the phones at 865-200-5402. Lots to talk about on today's show, and we're just sticking with the football theme here and staying with the fact that I cannot believe that next week is SEC Media Week already. I just cannot believe that. I just cannot comprehend that we're here already. I'm glad we're here. But let's go back to the phones, and we'll get our next call in. Hello and welcome. You're on the air.
How are my French compatriots doing today?
Hey, W. Lynn, welcome in.
Tony, y'all talking to Polly Joe, I started thinking if Bino had him up there in the outfield at a Yankees game,
yep,
they'd be on Sports Center because there'd be a scene where Polly Joe looked like Andre the Giant trying to fight off 4 or 5 Yankee fans.
No doubt about it.
Filming it.
One thing about those Yankee fans, though, man, it would take about 4 or 5 of them, but they would jump him.
Yeah.
Most people don't know how to behave in New York, man.
Paulie Joe is one of the few people, too, W. Lynn, that has a pretty good ability to push my buttons. I'd probably be one of the Yankee fans he was fighting off.
I tell you what, Hughie had one of the greatest statements I've ever heard, that first graders at Alabama get a journalism degree and they got media credentials so they can vote in the poll.
I mean, you gotta, you have got to see that thing down there to believe it. That woman that ran away from Saban, he touched me. And all those people just worshiping that whole thing.
I've seen film of it. It's ridiculous.
It's crazy. And they jam into that lobby. They just jam in there.
Yeah.
The old Winfrey Hotel.
Unbelievable. But I'm ashamed to admit when that Butch Jones came out with that smoky gray, I was trying to get behind it and all that, but I can't stand it either. I mean, why don't we have buckskin brown that looks more like what Davy Crockett wore, and then just have a coonskin tail off the back of the helmet?
I mean, that's more of a history than smoky gray is.
Exactly.
And I'm not so sure it wouldn't look better. Like, we could look like the brownies running around out there.
Yeah.
Do they still do that? They still do the brownies? Is that like the Girl Scouts, Bino, the brownies?
That is Girl Scouts.
I don't know if there's still brownies or not, Tony. It used to be brownies and bluebirds and then Girl Scouts. I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah. They were the equivalent of Cub Scouts for the Boy Scouts, because I got my Eagle Scouts. I went through the whole thing. So
did you really? You went through the whole thing?
Yeah, I did.
Was that good, W. Lynn? Would you recommend that?
Oh, I'd recommend that to anybody's kid. Yeah, and it's just a wonderful experience. My late wife and my daughter still kid me about that's why I was always prepared to go to a Titans game. I said, you never know what will happen on the plateau. I had long underwear, extra water, flash. I was just, it's a great experience for kids.
Billy, Derek, open the mic. Let me talk to you. You ever done that? Are you a Boy Scout?
No, I was never a Boy Scout.
Do they still have brownies?
I think they do, yeah. I know.
What about bluebells? What'd you call it, Bino?
It's bluebirds, I think.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, Bino. What's a bluebirds, Bino? Is that some...
I think a bluebird was just another group of...
Is that some Oak Ridge thing?
Young girls that... Well, I don't think so. I think they were bluebirds. But I was the worst Cub Scout ever. I went to like 3 meetings, and that's because we were going to play somebody in softball right after that.
Billy, you know how to tie a knot?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
Where'd you learn?
My dad.
There you go. Was he a Boy Scout?
No.
Anything else for us, W. Lynn?
Well, I got several things, actually.
Oh.
but Phil Steele's magazine is at Barnes & Noble in Knoxville.
Okay.
And it's not in the... They have a whole wall of magazines. It's not in the sports section. It had its separate little display that took me a few minutes to find. So since Phil Steele's our friend, I grabbed a whole handful of those things and went over there and just threw them on top of the Lindy's.
God, W. Lynn!
Beautiful.
He's doing like I heard Phil Steele's is that magazine like $25 or am I imagining things?
Let's see if it says it on here. No, it was with tax and all was like $22.
$22, Bino.
It's $19.99 plus tax.
Yeah, somebody told me the other day they spent buddy of mine in South Carolina is listening to the show. He said, I bought it, and it was $25, and I went, $25?
Well, maybe he paid more tax, but
yeah.
One thing I looked at is you need to pay attention to his power poll more than his preseason poll.
That's what he told us. That's what he told us.
Makes more sense.
Yeah, that's what he told. He said the preseason poll that everybody's getting hung up on where Tennessee's in the 40s. He said, really, I didn't spend time on that. He said, that's just a page that got thrown together. Hey, Bino, what do you make of Phil Steele admitting that to us?
I don't. This is the sodium pentothal hour. I don't know. I don't know why people just come on here and just throw up. But he's always been pretty straightforward with you, Tom.
But I've always kind of had that effect with people. Like people just tell me things, just whatever, whatever, whenever. But he said, hey, he said we don't have time to put the magazine together anymore. He said, I'm already catching mistakes in it and this, that, and the other.
And, I don't know if y'all have noticed this or not, but Washington State and Oregon State, the Pac-2, they're playing each other twice, home and home. Did you know that?
Oh, God. What an absolute – what a sham.
No, I had no idea.
What a sham.
I look. It's in one magazine I got, and I said maybe that's not right, but it's in Phil Steele's. Now that new Pac-9 or whatever it is, that's not starting this year.
No, that's good. That's going to be a good league, though. That's going to be a good league, and they ought to give them a vote. That's their whole goal is to get a vote at the end of the year.
Geographic sense is get Cal and Stanford back in it.
Yep. Whole thing is ridiculous, W. Lynch. Ridiculous.
Yeah, and I got a question for you.
Yep.
What is more important this year, that we have 3 running backs combined for 1,200 yards or 3 receivers combined for 1,200 yards?
Bino, what do you got on that?
W. Lynn, they had a good question yesterday about would you rather sign a top flight running back or a top flight stud receiver? And I'm with Matt and Brian on this. I believe in Heupel's offense that it's always more important that you get that type of production out of your receivers, because we're going to, by nature, run for a lot of yards out of this offense because we're always going to run against light fronts.
However, Bino, I would love to see a real top-flight stud running back in this offense just to see what it looks like.
I would too, Tony. You just made me choose between the two.
Oh, I know. Just to see what it looks like. I would say for W. Lynn's thing, if you're gonna break it into threes like that, I would say for W. Lynn's deal that you got to have more production out of the receivers than the running back. So, even though I chose the running back yesterday.
A question about Joey football.
Yeah.
If it's fourth and less than a yard, will he go under center and get that yard? Take the center snap.
I don't know. I don't know.
Is that legal anymore?
Yeah, I'm with you, Bino. I don't know if it's legal anymore.
Thank you,
Unless
boys.
You put three guys behind him to push.
Yep. Well, W. Lynn, thank you. Great talking
Good
to
show,
you.
Tony.
Hey, Bino, we had the VIP play lines that are posted. Tennessee with Syracuse minus 13.5. How about that Georgia line plus 7.5, Bino? And then, does it surprise you that the Vols are only a 5.5-point dog at Florida, or is that lower than you thought it would be, or higher than you thought it would be?
You know I'm scarred for life with games down there, Tony. So I guess that doesn't look like enough to me at Florida. I was looking through to see what I thought was really surprising. I thought that was a pretty low number against Georgia for Tennessee to be catching. And I know Oklahoma is going to be I think a real key game for Tennessee. But I agreed more with the VIP line of Tennessee laying 3.5 than I did Phil's thought that that's a pick.
Back to the phones we go. Yeah, I agree with that as well.
Just simply because we've been so good at home under Heupel.
We'll get our next call in on your Friday edition. Hello and welcome in. Billy helping us out in studio here. Hello, welcome in. Brian's training. Hello,
hey,
welcome.
Tony, hey, Bino, how you guys doing?
Hey, is this Richie?
Yes, Richie. How you guys doing?
What's
I haven't
up?
talked to you in a while.
What's up, my brother? How you doing, man?
Doing great. First of all, Bino, I want to apologize. Years ago, you said that it would not matter if the DH came to the National League. And Tony and I disagreed with you, and I admit that you were 100% right. It really didn't change anything. And unlike some people that you might be talking to right now, I will admit when I'm wrong. So you were right, I was wrong.
And what was it you were wrong about again, Richie? I want to hear this again.
The designated hitter. It hasn't been as big a deal as
No, it's been no big deal at all. In fact, I was wrong about that as well. I don't even notice it.
Yeah. About the scheduling thing, 2 points that I wanted to make. Number one, I think we're going to probably stick with 8 games until the money comes in. And I don't think we're necessarily, and also I don't think the SEC is necessarily going to go to a 1-7 or a 3-6 month. If you notice, both the Big Ten and the ACC have sort of irregular schedules, whereas some teams will have multiple permanent opponents and other teams won't have any. And I think if you look at what the schedule did this year, I think you might be looking at that. And I can tell you why. One of the things that caught me is that this schedule that they sent out this past year tells you anything.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, it tells you what you've been saying, that Texas is a sacred cow, because there's no way that a school comes into this league and they're not treated, and they get Vanderbilt, Kentucky, and Mississippi State put on their schedule without be giving preferential treatment. There's no way that happens. Number two, some of the rivalries with the lesser schools were not considered at all. Like South Carolina's biggest rival in the SEC is Georgia. And when they put together this 2-year schedule, South Carolina and Georgia don't play each other. And then Mississippi State's biggest rivals other than Ole Miss are Auburn, LSU, and Alabama. They've played each one of those teams like 100 times. They didn't play a one of them. So I think one thing you're learning is that the schools that are important are going to get to play the teams they want to play. And I think Tennessee's going to end up playing probably 3, maybe 4 even permanent games, and some schools are going to end up playing 1 or 2.
Bino, would that bother you? Would that bother you, Bino? Like, because what he's talking about, for the uninitiated, he's speaking the truth. In the Big Ten, okay, the Ohio States and the Michigans are still going to play. The Ohio States and the Penn States are still going to play. The Michigans and the Penn States, the Michigans and the Michigan State, the Michigan and the Ohio State is still going to play. Penn State does not have one permanent opponent on their deal. Their thing just totally rotates. But the Ohio State and the Michigan State, Michigan, Ohio State are still going to play. Does that bother you, Bino, that's the case, that we could do that in this league? Because right now the schedules aren't balanced anyway. So I don't know what the difference is. If you stay at 8, would it be fair if Tennessee kept Alabama kept Tennessee and LSU and Auburn? Just thinking about it, because that's what Richie's talking about. And then you let South Carolina just kind of get out there and spin like a wheel, and they fill out everybody else's dance card. That is what Richie's talking about. And I think you're right, Richie. That's exactly why they've protected Texas, and they've killed poor Oklahoma. And they've killed Florida, by the way. But what do you think, Beanstar?
Yeah. I think Richie's probably correct. And the part of me that, and Tony, the league is so big now, you're never going to get anywhere close to fair schedules. You just can't do it. There's going to be years when, like this year, when we've got a more easy path, and other years where it's just brutal. So the fan in me hopes that, since there can never be any equality, I want tradition to be preserved. So I wouldn't have any big problem with that.
Really thought-provoking.
And one of the things that I wanted to say is I think Tennessee, if Alabama's going to play Auburn, LSU, and Tennessee, I don't think there's any way that Tennessee's only going to get Vanderbilt, Kentucky, and then Alabama. I think Tennessee, if they play both Vanderbilt and Kentucky, which are traditional rivals, they're going to add another team on, whether it's Florida or Georgia, or maybe even Texas or Oklahoma, because I just don't believe that Alabama's going to have to play their 3 big, tough rivals, and we're going to get Vanderbilt and Kentucky. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that we're going to end up probably having we're going to have more permanent games than anybody, except maybe LSU, because of the fact that 2 of ours are 2 of the worst in the league. And like it or not, historically, we're a top program in this league. And the other schools that are top programs are going to say, that's not fair that Tennessee gets Kentucky and Vanderbilt, and we've got to play all of our tough teams.
So in your model, Tennessee gets to keep whom? Tennessee gets to keep?
Well, I think we're going to keep – if we keep Kentucky, because I think they're the one on the chopping block of the 2 of those. If we keep Kentucky, I think we're going to keep Vanderbilt. I think we're going to keep Alabama. And I think if I was to guess, I would say Florida. But I was surprised that the SEC put us with Georgia these past 2 years. And so I would watch that too, just because Florida has a traditional rivalry with not only Georgia, but also with LSU. And then also Florida has an old school rivalry with Auburn. And also, and another thing too, keep this in mind. I don't believe until this whole realignment thing is done that Florida State and Clemson aren't eventually coming into this league. They're getting out of the ACC one way or the other, and I don't think the Big Ten's going to want them, and I think the SEC can't afford to tell them no. So I think that may be one reason why South Carolina's not playing Georgia. There's probably talks behind the scenes saying, yeah, you're not getting Georgia, but one day you're going to get Clemson and you might get North Carolina. So just, hang on. And I think that's a part of this too. Is they're going to be looking to the future and saying, okay, well, if we're going to end this rivalry today, because in the future, like if let's say Florida State comes to the SEC, and they get three rivals.
Yes.
Florida's going to play Georgia, they're going to play LSU, and they play Florida State probably instead of us.
Rich, that's really, really, really thought-provoking. We'll discuss that more next week because that's I'm a blog on that too. Thanks, man. That's really, really interesting because you can't rob Peter to pay Paul. There's too many teams in the league, like Bino said. You've got to account for tradition. I believe they're going to stay at an 8-game schedule and not 9 because I believe they feel like we can get more teams in the playoffs if we don't beat on each other. And so I just think that's really, really interesting. Let's go back to the phones on a day where we're very brisk and making it happen. Hello and welcome in on our Friday edition. Hi, welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, is this me?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Hey, what's up, Josh, your boy, Tony?
Hey, Wingo. Welcome in, buddy.
Yeah, I have a question about the conferences in college football. So,
yep.
Still, there's only a few divisions. Sorry, I'm coughing, but there are only a few divisions left in college football, like the Sun Belt and other divisions. Do you guys like that, or do you guys like where it's every team instead of the divisions in college football?
Bino, do you like just stacking the teams, or do you like these leagues that have divisions? I like this league with no divisions, personally. What do you think, Bino?
I like the league with no divisions, Joshy, where the best 2 teams in your league wind up playing for the championship. But as big as the league is now, I just assume the SEC add 2 to 4 more teams and either go into 2 totally separate divisions where you only play the team on your side. That way they could play an 8 or a 9 game schedule, and it would be just as equal as it could be division wise.
So you put you'd put the old Southwest Conference back, right?
That's right. Yeah. Southeastern and Southwest Conference, and let both sides go at it, play your championship game, and never play anybody from the other side.
Because I was looking at it the other day, I think the only team in a conference that has a division is the Sun Belt. That's the only team left in college football.
Wow, that's interesting. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So I was looking at my Phil Steele magazine the other day, Tony, and he has Tennessee finishing 10th in the SEC. What's your guys' thoughts on that?
I mean, it could happen. Anything could happen this year.
Yeah.
I would sell that. I thought he had him 7th. Tied for 7th with the Floridas of the world and people like that. Look, here's the thing. Yeah. Like Bino said, if you were looking at Tennessee and you're not a Tennessee fan, you'd go, man, they're going to stink this year. They have 8 playmakers back.
Right.
They've got a quarterback they've added in May, which is kind of unheard of. They are totally rebuilding their offensive line in a league with dominant defensive linemen. I mean, those are all fair points. I mean, they don't realize that our head coach is a stone cold winner. And the other thing they don't realize is we have Joey Football.
Yeah, Tony, I'm with Bino. I think our wide receivers this year are going to be better than last year's wide receivers.
Well, that's been my take, Joshy. And again, it takes some blind faith, but I really believe that Tennessee would have been better off last year. And I applaud Squirrel and Brew for going out there when they were 75%. You don't see that a lot anymore. I applaud them for doing it. But I believe we would have been better off to have healthy young guys on the field than those guys.
I agree with you, Bino. You never see that guys that are injured and go out and play. I applaud Squirrel and their toughness for doing that. But I would be shocked if this wide receiver bunch this year is not a little bit better than last year. And, Tony, you're right. It's a three-way tie in 7th. He has Florida, Ole Miss, and Tennessee.
Yep.
So I'm sorry about that.
No, you're fine. No, Brian Hartman caught that. I never would have caught that in a million years. So.
Yeah. So what is your guys' takeaway, Tony, when you had him on from the most interesting thing he said about Tennessee when you had him on?
Well, he basically said that they still have a ton of talent on their roster, and that if he had to do it over again, they wouldn't be in the 40s. They'd be closer to the 20s, because he has them 20th in the power ratings, and that sounds more like it. But in college football, the difference between 45 and 20, is sometimes a win. It's the difference between going 8-4 and 7-5.
Because I don't know right off the top of my head going into the 2022 season what he had us at that time, but I'm sure we were probably a little bit underrated going.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
we do our best work around here, and we sneak up on people, Josh. That's when we do our best work.
Out the door, Tony, I was curious about this, and I went back and Googled it. I was looking at the Michigan and App State game back in the day when App won in the Big House. I was looking at how many points App was catching in the Big House. They were catching 33 points in the Big House when they upset Michigan.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
So whoever bet the money line back in the day, they made some money.
And then they committed themselves. Thank you, Joshy boy.
Yep.
I mean, can you imagine that? You imagine the guy that walked up to the cage bean star back in the day, because that's how you would have done it back in the day. You wouldn't have had VIP play. You'd have walked up to the cage, and you'd have said 300 on number blah blah blah, and the guy at the cage said, "You're betting on App State money line. You want to check yourself in? You want to commit yourself? You got issues." You're going to ride with Paulie Joe up to the Bronx this weekend? Bino, how inviting does that sound right now that you think about it?
Paulie Joe is wonderful company, but a whole weekend? Come on, man.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are going to do a TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime, because I want to get Billy Derek's thoughts on sitting in here and just this experience, what that's like in his alleged young mind, and then we'll get some more calls in. Richie had a really thought-provoking thing about these schedules and the 8-game deal. The SEC, if they're going to preserve tradition, is almost going to be forced to do what he said, because that's how they made it work in the Big Ten. In the meantime, I love you. I appreciate you. To the radio listener, have yourself a great weekend. Peace. We love you.
1040 AM, 99.7 FM. Translator W259AB. Powell, Knoxville.
So Billy just told me something crazy, Bino. I got to have him share it with you off the air.
All right.
It's TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime, presented by TLD Logistics. Online at tldlogistics.com. And now let's go to the guys with today's edition of TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime.
Oh, Connexial Kristen, I love you and I appreciate you. You have no idea. You are my buddy. Billy Derek, you're my buddy. I think the world of you, man. So, Billy, tell me here, what did you think of the 2 hours you sat in here, and did that feel like 2 hours to you?
No, that flew by.
Like flew by.
That was wild.
Yeah. And we're going to go back to our phones here momentarily. Billy is George Plaster's right-hand man. And Billy's going to be helping us because Laura and I are going to take a vacation together for the first time in like 15 years. We just decided we're going to get out of here for a while. So Billy's going to be watching the homestead for us and helping us out first week of August. So you'll hear Billy on here, along with our regular cast and crew and the thousands and millions around the world. Billy, would you tell Bino what you told me about how old school this thing is in here?
It's very old school.
Like compared to what you're used to.
Oh, I'm used to just starting the stream and going on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. I mean, we're on radio too, but I've never been in front of a setup like this.
So Bino, he's never even really sat in front of a radio console before. And isn't that funny, like how the business has changed? Everything that he's doing is video, Bino.
It's amazing, Tony. It's amazing how far this has come just recently, not only in the 25 years or so that you and I have done this together, but just recently. It's a different world.
And we designed this, Billy, like an old school radio station because I'm a radio guy at heart. Mm-hmm. Do you feel that in here?
Oh, yeah. It feels like you walk in your house and then you walk down here. It's a whole new world. I love it.
And so, what about the content of today's show? Some of these callers. What did you?
Polly Joe was interesting.
Are you thinking about? Because you're covering media days next week.
Yep.
If you think about it, you could leave here in a little bit, get up to the Bronx, all expenses paid, and then go to the deal next week.
It's the all expenses paid part that I think Polly Joe forgot to mention.
No, he said that, didn't he, Bino? Didn't he say all expenses paid, Bino?
Oh, yes. He said that on the air. He just didn't say that to me on the phone conversation prior to his call.
Right. Interesting. Billy, do you have a thought in terms of, we were talking about the 8-team schedule they're probably going to stay with, and the way Richie had talked about some teams are just going to have to float if you're going to make this thing work.
Yep.
Because you got to honor tradition among some of these teams. And some of these teams, I mean, do you guys think Missouri, do they have anybody they care about playing annually?
Maybe Arkansas.
Maybe.
They've sort of forced the LSU rivalry in there for them, so maybe LSU. And then, I don't know, maybe Oklahoma?
Who would LSU's opponents be if they – because I think they are going to take care of the haves, and they're going to tell the have-nots, you guys are going to float. And Vanderbilt is going to be tied to at least – there's no way they break up Vanderbilt and Tennessee. No way.
You can't.
No, I think LSU would obviously be Ole Miss and Florida. That's a long-time rivalry. And probably Arkansas. Those would probably be the teams that you would
not Alabama?
Automatically write down besides LSU's name in Alabama.
It's going to be interesting to see how they do this. Or are they just going to go, you played these people these 2 years, you play these people the next 2 years. This is professional sports. We no longer care about tradition.
Hopefully not.
I mean, they could do that. They could do that, but the Big Ten didn't do it.
In today's world, Tony, I would almost expect it to go what you just said, rather than honoring tradition. Maybe I'll be fooled.
Yeah, I don't rule any of it out. Anything could, will, and can happen. But let's go back to our phones. Billy, anything else you want to add before we go back to our phones? Any other points you want to make here?
Well, in the MLB draft, I know Tennessee fans know this for the most part, but and I don't know if this is a rumor or not, but Liam Doyle has been plugged to go number 2 overall, and the Angels have the number 2 overall pick. I don't think you mentioned that, but you would see Liam Doyle in the big leagues in probably less than a year with Christian Moore.
I would bet on him as a closer. I wrote today in the blog, and some people are never happy. But, boy, I sure hope some of our guys end up on rosters other than the Rockies and Angels, Bino. Those are two bad organizations, man.
Yeah, but, I guess that's I guess that's part of having really, really good players. If they go early, they're likely not going to anyone that can play.
Have you guys seen what baseball's done, though? The tank rules. You can't tank in baseball anymore. If you're bad for several consecutive years now, the highest you can pick is 10th in the draft. Have you guys seen the
really?
new
I have not
they've
seen
made?
that.
Yeah, because the Braves right now are trying to get that position themselves. They might fire sale so they can position themselves to get that number one pick next year.
Baseball has all kind of trouble right now. George has talked about they're probably going to see another lockout sooner rather than later.
Yes, and I'm probably stepping on my ring light. Brian, if you could plug that in for me. Here you go. I'll put it this way. Back to our busy phones we go. 865-200-5402. And we'll get our next call in. Baseball's always been a mess. Hello and welcome in. You're live on TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime presented by our friends at TLD Logistics. Hi.
Hey, Tony. It's Orange Blood.
Hey, welcome in.
Hey, kind of got a three-part question before I tie it into my take here.
Yeah.
When we're scheduling college games for Tennessee, first question, who schedule these, and how far in advance do they do it, and what are their motivations for choosing those teams? Is it just kind of first come, first serve?
Your non-league schedule, your athletic director does it. Your league schedule, the conference does it.
That conference is kind of my specific.
Yeah, it's
point,
the conference does it.
Outside of that,
it's a league office.
Okay, so they have, and I wonder what criteria they're using to say, okay, Tennessee. Let's say it's. I've seen teams announce that future opponents 5 years in advance. So let's say it's 2022. Let's just say that that Tennessee, you're going to play Arkansas back-to-back years. Is this was that agreement back before Oklahoma and Texas came in?
That's correct.
And we did away with convention or
that's correct.
Division?
That's correct. Because what happened is when they brought those two teams in, if you'll remember, Tennessee had Oklahoma in a non-league game, and they had to buy out of it, get rid of it. But to your point, in terms of the league itself, the league did that schedule announcement where they said for a 2-year period, we're going to go with this 8-game model, and they did that reveal, and then we'll get back to you. Well, next year is upon us, basically. We have this season. When are they going to announce the new schedule? What's the format going to look like? And nobody really knows. I will give you this one piece of insight, though. There's a guy who lives in Knoxville who has been helping them for years coordinate the schedules. There's a guy who's sort of a planner who lives in Knoxville who for years helped them put their football schedule together.
I wonder if they looked at it like the NFL does. Every year, each division plays a mutual other division, at least one other division, maybe even two. So they got 6 games right there that they're playing, like the Titans, Jaguars. Everybody will play, say, the AFC South or the AFC North or whatever. And then they do their conference opponents home and away. Then they find another, I don't know if it's random or not, but another conference, and they play an even seeded team from previous season opponent. That's how they did it, as of a couple of years ago at least. So, like, if the Titans finished third, they'd pick somebody like NFC West or whatever and play the third opponent in that from the previous season. So they kind of make it a little bit of a parody, sort of, so to speak. I don't know if they did that with Arkansas because I look back to 2021 and Arkansas has been pretty subpar. I think they went 9-4 one year, or 9-3 or whatever. But most of the seasons they've been like Tennessee was back before they got Heupel. They were mid.
Yeah.
So I just wondered, now that we're kind of established, Texas and Oklahoma kind of got in, the honeymoon's over. Going forward, how are they going to seed us? and still keep tradition. College tradition, I think, is something unique that's not in the pros, and we need to keep that best we can.
I think Richie had a great idea. I think the haves get to keep their tradition. The South Carolinas, the Arkansas, and the Missouris of the world get to fill out the dance card. I think that's the way to do it. It's what the Big Ten did. Some teams in the Big Ten get to keep their traditional opponents, and Penn State does not have one permanent opponent on their deal. They can play a different schedule every year. You almost, if you're going to be in one of these super leagues, you almost have to do that if you're going to make it work. And you want to maintain tradition. Either that or you just say, okay, these 2 years, these are the teams you play. The next 2 years, these are the teams you play. And you play completely different teams. Because when you have a league that's this size, how else are you going to do it? Because what you were talking about would work, but the NFL's working with 18 dates, and before that, 16 dates. Now 17 dates, but before that, 16 dates. When you only have 8 dates, how do you marry the two? It's almost, especially when you have that many teams to satisfy.
Yeah, I think that tradition, most years, some years, comes a lot of revenue. Big games on TV, people, a lot of eyeballs on it. Sometimes you have ebbs and flows. Tennessee and Alabama have been up and down.
Yeah.
You take your pick. Ohio State, Michigan even could have, Michigan more than Ohio State have ebbs and flows. But I think that it's hard to turn down that revenue and that tradition. Before I go, I'm going to hop off. For the uninitiated as myself, explain with the Andy Mack quote you always say. I've never caught on to that.
So there's a guy in Cincinnati who used to say it's unbelievable, Andy Mack. That's a broadcaster who I think does Xavier games, but in Cincinnati that was a saying. It's unbelievable, Andy Mack, and I just took it. So it makes no sense, but it's fun to say.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Good talking to you. Yeah, that's a Cincinnati thing. Billy, you wanted to add something about the schedule deal? You were getting ready to open yourself up. Go ahead.
Well, like for Tennessee, they have an advantage over a Georgia per se. Who Georgia is their historical great team, but Georgia has 4 or 5 different rivalries that they would probably like to preserve.
Who are they?
I mean, you could say Florida. You could say Alabama. You could say Auburn.
Auburn for sure. Alabama's not one of them, but Auburn for sure, yes.
You don't think Alabama?
Well, they don't play them every year. They didn't play them till they just started playing them, right, Bri? They just started playing them. Yeah, they were on the old rotating system. Georgia and Auburn is definitely something they would preserve. I'd be curious to see, Bino, if Georgia would want to keep Tennessee, or if Tennessee, Florida would trump Tennessee and Georgia. I don't know. But you do have a good point.
Georgia's a team that has 4 or 5 you could possibly throw in. Tennessee has Vandy and Kentucky, and
Alabama
and Alabama. But having Vandy and Kentucky in theirs,
it's a total advantage. No question. But that's why if you're going to make this thing fair and balanced, you almost just have to. You're going to play 8 games. You almost can't pay attention to tradition. But if you're trying to put a television product together, which is what this is,
right,
you damn well better keep those traditional games.
Absolutely.
Or you lose who you are. And Richie brought a really good point up. Somebody in there is going to have to give. Those somebodies are the shitty teams. I'm sorry. You guys got to give. And or you need a Penn State to step up there and say, hey, you can go ahead and flip our schedule every year. Bino, you think anybody in this league's going to do that, what Penn State did? You can flip our schedule every year, give us what's rest, the best of the rest?
I do not, Tony. I don't see that happening because with the exception of Missouri, the teams that have been added down through the years have either had a connection with the SEC prior, or they have a connection with teams that have been added to this league in the last several years or the last couple of decades.
Well, and the crazy thing is, like a Penn State, right? Penn State was just added to the Big Ten. I mean, I say just added, but they're 30 years now. I guess they went in 94. So it's easy to kind of say to them, well, some years you'll play them, some years you won't. Some years we're going to kind of float you around over here. So you could float around Arkansas. You could float around South Carolina. South Carolina and Georgia, Richie's right. They broke them up. That was a huge game. A huge game. And so the point is, you're South Carolina. You'll live with it. You've only been in the league 30 years. Some of these teams have been playing each other longer than they've had paved roads or interstates going through their areas. If you stop and think about it, I mean, these are traditions that have been handed down, 3 generations now. And you're just going to wake up one day and say, well, you know what? Alabama and Tennessee, you're not going to play anymore. I mean, you could do that. Like Bino said, I put nothing past this league. Because if they could figure out monetarily that they could make more money doing it that way, they would do it that way. Richie might be right. It might be that you tell certain members of the league, I know that was what you wanted, but South Carolina, you like being in our league? Yeah, you're not playing Georgia anymore. And by the way, you're not going to have any fixed opponents. You're rotating. I'm not so sure that isn't the best way to do it. If you're going to keep some of these other deals, let's go back to the phones, get a few more calls in, and get out of here on a Friday. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony. It's Jeff in Jonesboro. I hadn't called
Hey, Jeff, welcome in Jonesboro.
I was going to call you again from the Outer Banks during the baseball tournament, but I was plunged into, depression a little bit, so I didn't call.
Been there and done that, brother. Got the program. It's been a long summer on me with that, man. The allergies have driven me nuts this summer, man.
Oh, yeah. I had nose surgery back in the spring.
Oh, poor guy. That'll do it to you, man.
Well, it's better. Anyway, I'm just sitting here on a cloudy day, just doing some work. I'm listening, so I'll give him a call. I kind of like where we're laying right now. I feel like we're laying in the grass a little bit on the football deal. We're on a straight glide past the football now. And so I got over the baseball, and I'm starting to think about football.
That's what Matt Dixon told me the other day. Matt said he's finally in the mindset.
Yeah. When they start reporting on Tour de France, you know it's close.
Bino, do you ever have that thought when you see the Tour de France, you know it's football season's almost here?
Yes, absolutely I do. When Wimbledon's in the semifinals, when the Tour de France is over, when Phil Steele comes on, and when the SEC meetings are going to start, and all of that has happened right here, it's time.
Well played, Bino.
And I kind of like where we're laying in the grass right now. I can remember some years where people didn't think much of us in the summer. And those are some of our better years, really.
Tennessee's always been a sneak attack team. They've never been when you're touting the Vols or picking the Vols or whatever it is you do with the Vols, that's when you run from the Vols.
Yeah. But I'm going to defend. I've heard a lot of comments, but I'm going to defend Josh Heupel a little bit for the December thing. He just didn't know how that would play out. Right after the season, I think if Nico I'm talking about, after the season, I think if he he was just trying to get that situation fixed. And good Lord, can you imagine the outcry if he, on New Year's Day announced, okay, we're parting ways with Nico. There'd been a firestorm.
But you will agree with me, in retrospect, though, you got to have a role. And the role is, you're my starting quarterback. I found out you're talking to teams in my league, and you're the one initiating it. You're gone. Can't play with that, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Going forward.
Absolutely.
Because this is the first time. I give a guy, I give Heupel, and will all year give him grace for what's occurred here, because there's no roadmap to this thing. And I wouldn't blame any of these guys. I mean, he makes $10 million a year, but that's an idiotic profession those guys are in right now. There's just no other way to put it. I mean, Vitello was on a radio station the other day bitching about LSU poaching players off his roster when he's poaching players off everybody's roster. I mean, what are we doing?
Swimming with sharks.
That's right, man.
And you gotta do it.
Sure you do.
I guess there's a way you got to do it, and everybody's trying to figure that out.
And I love Tony. But Tony, what is the difference? Tell me the difference. Jay Johnson is trying to get your 3 best young players off your roster, those freshmen. Okay. And what are you doing? What are we doing?
What have we done?
What have we done? What did we do to Ole Miss last year?
Yeah.
But guys like Will Heflin, they just want to carry that water. It's what they do. It's what Will Heflin does. He's a damn Will Heflin. I mean, he's like a damn utility. He's got so much water on his back right now. So much of Tony's water. He's like a utility.
Well, I'm not gonna. Tony's the one guy right now where you just say, okay, whatever he wants.
Yeah, he's got this. Tony's bumper sticker ought to be, he's got this. That'll be his motto.
You can question him, but that's the one guy well, actually I think all 3, but he's like the standard right now in terms of coaching, for us, I believe.
Well, I mean, look, he's a standard in the sport. They used to bring Tim Corbin on that Major League Baseball deal. Tony's like, it's like his 3rd or 4th year in a row now that he's been on that Major League Baseball coverage, and he's like, the guy Rick Pitino. Pitino was always on that NBA draft, and then Pitino got out of line. They put Calipari on the NBA draft. That's where Tony is. Tony's like the head of the sport right now. What is it? It's these Italian guys. Television loves those Italian guys. They love them. They just love them, man. Hey, Jonesboro, you keep looking up, brother. I love you.
Love you too, man. And keep the old-time radio going. I like that.
Thank you, brother. You're the man.
Right, take care.
You're the man. Let's go back to the phones. Get another one in here on TLD Logistics Overdrive. Overtime. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
J-Bay both scum.
You can hit the button on that guy. There you go. Thank you. And let's get our next one in, and we'll finish up right here. Billy almost knows how to use the phones. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Tony, what's up, brother? It's Parker.
Hey, Parker, welcome in. Long time no talkie.
Dude, I hate to say it, but I got bored with the baseball talk. I'm ready for football season.
Gotcha.
I know you got to do it, brother, but it's football time in Tennessee after July 4th.
Gotcha,
I'm watching
brother.
Wimbledon, which is great, but it's football time.
Yeah, Brian Hartman wanted to do a segment on Sinner today. Sinner the winner.
I know Sinners and Saints, and he ain't one.
Sinner and Alcaraz are pretty next level, dude. That's going to be unbelievable.
Did you ever play with Woody? I heard Woodruff was a great player back in the day.
Woody? Me? Play with him? Play what with him?
Pickleball, maybe.
Shit. I'd get killed.
Hey, Tony, what are you doing tonight?
What am I doing tonight? I was going to play. I don't know. Playing music, maybe? I don't know.
I've got an engagement for you to come to.
All right.
Our boy Turner, Bradley's Chocolate Turner, is getting married tomorrow. Rehearsal dinners at Calhoun's on the River. Tonight! God!
Oh, right Rice fans. Rice fans. That's incredible.
That's awesome.
Turner is awesome looking too, man. Turner's got that really – Turner, I saw him in the park one day. I was playing music, and he walked by me. And he just has that really cool look on his face 24/7, doesn't he?
We're out here on Norris Lake.
That hairdo?
Say hi to him.
That hairdo of his, yeah, put him on.
Tony.
Turner, are you nervous?
Man, couldn't eat this morning. Having a rough time, but, man,
that's good.
Excited.
Hey, Turner, if you can't eat, imagine what she's going through.
Sheesh,
I bet she hadn't had
me,
anything
Tony.
since Tuesday. I bet she's on like a liquid diet since Tuesday. Tell me
Hey,
about
Tony,
her,
you got
Turner.
any advice?
Tell me about her.
She's amazing. Second grade teacher. We met at church, leading high school kids together, and she's amazing. Going to be an incredible wife, beautiful bride. Can't wait for tomorrow.
I'm in love.
Outstanding.
I'll give you a piece of advice, yeah. Take the time to really enjoy each other every day. Really enjoy her. Take the time to do that. Make the time and take the time to really enjoy the blessing that you have in your life. That's my advice.
Amen. That's great advice, Tony. Thank you. Bino, you got anything?
I can't beat that, Turner. I can't beat that. He's exactly right.
Hard to beat the dean himself, right?
Just enjoy her. Celebrate her. Take the time to do that.
Man, that's so good. That's great advice. Great advice, Tony. Well, we hope to see you tonight. I don't know what you're doing, but we could see you down there on the river if you want to bring your guitar.
No, you will not see me there tonight because we're playing out somewhere, but I think we're at Admiral Pub tonight. But I love you.
Nice.
I love you, and I'm for you. You know what that's like? Me getting this invite right now reminds me of Polly Joe getting a call last night saying Bino wants to go to the Bronx with him.
Oh, that wasn't last night, Tony. That was this morning.
Oh, okay. Well, same
man.
thing.
Same thing, day of. And to put my name with Polly Joe, man, don't give me any bad omens, Tony, going into this weekend.
Turner, congratulations. God bless you, man. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Hope to see you again soon, and love
you, brother. I'll see
you
you in the park. Yeah, and I can't wait to meet your beautiful bride.
Amen.
And that's it for us. Bino, you have any final thoughts, any constant admonitions, any words of wisdom you want to leave us with today on the way out?
Just congratulations to Turner, and thank you, Tony. It's football season's right around the corner.
Thank you to Brian Hartman for coming out today, lending a helping hand. Thank you to Billy Derrick for being who he is. Bino, thank you. For all those behind the scenes, this is Basilio saying TLD Logistics online at tldlogistics.com. We love you. We appreciate you. We thank you. Have a Dwight Gooden, and we'll talk to you on Monday. Peace.